Hello, everyone. Welcome to 2D Board Gamers. My name is Dave. And today we're going to take a look at my top 5 justice events. So, justice is all about removing threat from schemes, which, of course, is what the villain is trying to get the main scheme done to win the game. And justice is the aspect to thwart, literally, the villain's attempt. All right. Well, let's take a look at my top 5 justice events. My number 5 is Crisis Averted. It costs 3. It's a thwart. Hero action thwart removes 6 threat from the main scheme. If you paid for this card using a mental resource, this threat ignores the crisis icon. Now, I usually only put 1 copy in my decks, but this is a great way to keep the main scheme under control. And if there's a lot of crisis side schemes, then this obviously can bypass the crisis that are printed on the side scheme. And with the resource card Sense of Justice, you have a mental to help pay for this, and that guarantees that you can be able to ignore the crisis and remove the threat on the main scheme. So, number 5 is Crisis Averted. Number 4 is Multitasking. It costs 1. It's a thwart event. Hero action thwart, remove 2 threat from a scheme. And if you paid for this card using a mental resource, remove 2 threat from a different scheme. And again, with the resource generator Sense of Justice, you can guarantee to have a mental and be able to remove 2 threat from 2 different schemes. So that's pretty good. So number 4 is Multitasking. Number 3 is One Way or Another. It costs 0, max 1 per round. Hero action, search the encounter deck for a side scheme, reveal that side scheme, and then you get to draw 3 cards. Now, I personally do like this card, but you have to be very careful when you play it because you want to be able to deal with the side scheme, especially in multiplayer. You don't want to make the situation worse just so you can draw 3 cards like some people do. But as long as you can deal with the problem that you create, and you should be able to if you built a good justice deck, then being able to draw 3 cards is amazing. So number 3 is One Way or Another. Number 2 is Infiltration. It costs 1. It's a thwart event. Hero action thwart. Choose a number from 1 to 5. Discard that many cards from the top of the encounter deck to remove 1 threat from a scheme. For each card discarded this way, put 1 minion discarded this way into play engaged with you. So now this is really good for you can remove 5 threat for the cost of 1, and you're only going to get 1 minion if you happen to draw a minion. And if you're playing someone who wants to have minions, like say Thor, for example, then you'll get to draw the 2 cards. This is one of my new favorite Justice cards. So just as long as you can deal with the minion, it's kind of like One Way or Another in a way, but as long as you can deal with the minion or get some kind of benefit from the minion coming out, then that's a small price to pay for removing up to 5 threat. And you may not even get a minion depending on how the deck is set up. So that is number 2, Infiltration. Number 1 is For Justice. It costs 2. It's a thwart event. Hero action. Remove 3 threat from a scheme. If a 4 threat instead, if you paid for this with a mental resource, like the resource generator Sense of Justice provides a mental. But I also like a variant of this if I'm playing someone like, say, Ant-Man or someone who likes to change forms a lot. Lay Down the Law costs 1. It's a thwart event. After you change forms, remove 3 threat from a scheme, 4 instead if you paid for this card using a mental resource. So this is exactly the same as For Justice, except for it's 1 cheaper, and you have to have changed form. So this is a response after you change form, like Ant-Man, for example. I if I'm playing a hero like that, then I will have Lay Down the Law instead of For Justice. Okay, so those were my top 5 Justice events. These are pretty much in almost all my Justice decks, unless I'm playing kind of a weird variant where maybe I'm trying to do more damage oriented than thwarting. If I'm like the second Justice player, which you could see an example of that when we did our Ronin game in the Galaxy's Most Wanted campaign that we recently did. But for the most part, when I make a Justice deck, these are the 5 events that I include in my deck. And there's other events based on the hero or circumstances. All right. Well, thank you for watching, everyone. Please like, subscribe, and click the notification bell.